Alright, hello everyone, just getting a couple things going here. Gonna start out with the Centurion Action X. Here we go. Hopefully everyone's having a good day so far. See a few of you guys are here already. Hey, I got Menz, yay. Yeah, I'm going to be starting with the Centurion Action X, and then after that I have another request for the Excelsior I'll pop into. Which, I know I haven't updated the image for the stream yet. I'm getting to that. I did tweak it around a little bit with, you probably can see the overlay I have over the stream. Just tweaking around with a couple things, finding some setup that I like. But tonight, if there's any any specific type of tank you'd like to see, I will gladly hop into it for you guys. I already got most of my 5Xs done on things that I'm grinding. Really, the only thing that's left is the Panther 2, since I just got that kitted out here. Okay. We have a decent amount of people over here. It'll just be interesting to see if they actually push up. So I'm experiencing a little bit of lag here for some reason. I didn't get it all. I haven't gotten it all day. I even tested out a little bit with earlier. I tested out the new stream overlay and didn't get anything. So this is awesome. I might just reload the client if it keeps up like this. Yeah, the chat, I mainly did it. I was able to, I shrunk the chat overlay from YouTube a little bit. That way it doesn't take up as much of the stream, and also it fits a little bit more in it as well. So help them get that guy out quickly. Now we do have a grill over here I gotta worry about, but the T-110E4 is, ooh lord, a little bit bigger of a problem. I was trying to whack that guy, but hello Rich, hello Rob, and the hipster. No sparklers. Today probably will be the last stream with the Christmas stuff though. Shit, I did not think he was pointing my direction. Oh, this is bad. Especially because, okay, I do have a 1375 over there. That guy's going for the easier damage rather than trying to take me out. Although now he's shifting his attention towards me. Alright, yeah, this tank, you do not want to be shot in this thing. It is very hard to actually hide because it has a very large hole. I can't believe I just missed that shot. But, you know, the gun is extremely comfortable to use on this. Yeah, I can add the VK3601H. Okay. Should I push up there? I think I might just play it kind of safe right now. By the time I get up there, I'll get like one shot in, but you just never know. Alright. Yeah, I'll be streaming till just about 8. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna reload the client here because I wasn't getting any freaking lag the entire time I was playing earlier. And for whatever reason, I'm getting it right now. Awesome. But decent little win to start the stream off at least. Just let me... Oh, I'm on US West. Why the hell did it put me on US West? Duh. That's like the first time that's done that to me in ages. Oh, I don't know why it would connect me to the West server. Glad I saw that before I exited out. But yeah, with 5X's, I don't know, it just makes the matches more unpredictable. But hello, Sam B. But yeah, 5X's in general, I don't know, it's just harder to kind of know what you or the enemy's gonna do. Tends to be more lopsided, the matches, but alright, synchronize faster. There we go. So hopefully that fixes that little bit of lag I was experiencing there. Alright, so the next request I had up was for the Excelsior here. Let's get that going. Hello, Garv. Nice to see you. Huh, I'm still getting up here my ping for the East server. Unless I, for whatever reason, pop up onto the West, but I don't think I did. I have no idea why it's making me lag right now. Go figure, once I frickin' hit the stream button, something pops up. Thank you very much, Uber. Hello, Abdul. Nice to see you. I'm gonna try to play like a heavy tank here. Usually I play it like a heavy medium, but I'll go with it. Which, yeah, if anybody does want a platoon, you know, that's fine with me. I know Foreplay wanted to if he pops on tonight. But yeah, I'm free, you know, just message me in game is the easiest way. Yeah, I did get your email, Abdul. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying the tank. Ah, Lord. I can't believe I missed both of those shots. It's just, with the low alpha, you can get in trouble with this tank if you don't land your shots. Alright. Is he going to track me again? Good, he missed. I do have a Churchill 3 though. I gotta load up a little bit of APCR for him. And of course there's a T-14 as well. Not exactly wanting to see the T-14 plus the Churchill. I really just have to focus on the Churchill's turret for the most part, but at the same time he can spam freaking away at my turret as well. I don't even... It looks like he might actually be using the same thing as me, using APCR here. Be nice if my team got out of the base though. You know, that would be a wonderful thing. All right, M4. Thank you very much. Awesome. Thank you, team. But to say, if they were going to sit in the base the whole freaking match, I would be a little bit annoyed. I could use APCR here, but I'm trying to be a little bit cheap here. It's just the T-14 does have fairly good side armor, so I'll just switch over to APCR here because this is still a kind of close match. There we go. I'll help them with the guys back here. Yes, I have, Nelson. Thanks for asking. Yeah, like I said, I played a little bit earlier as well. I had some pretty fun matches, but it was definitely iffy, the teamwork. Very nice angling, M4. So let's say you're gonna need a little bit of help there, and unfortunately I just pushed into that. I didn't think he could actually hit me there. Holy shit! I pushed. Oh, I've never been shot through that before. Good job by that guy, but kind of sucks though because my team is floundering. Like we have an M4 over here protecting our artillery against a Matilda 4. Thanks for the subscription, Mr. Matt. There we go. There's the platoon button. Alright, yeah, VK was the next tank up for requests. Like I said, if there's any specific tank you'd like to see, pretty much going to hop into anything. But yeah, if anybody else want to, you know, invite. The Patriot, like a medium tank? Pretty much. It's generally how I play it. You know, I play it virtually the same as I would M26 Pershing. You know, it's pretty much just like an up-armored, little bit slower Pershing, more or less. You've been at the Uber? See, I don't mind them. I like I was platooning with Anthony earlier, and it took me a little bit longer to get a couple wins, but I don't know. It's not that huge of a difference. Personally, it's easier to blame things, I feel like. All right. Uh-oh, for whatever reason, my thing is not updating. I'm gonna have to fix that. Yes, I do have the Panther too. I'm just checking, I keep looking on my other screen here because I added a couple, you know, little things just to make sure that they're actually working right. It seems like I forgot to update the thing. See if I can do this quickly. Probably gonna crash. Alright, being in the V6 VK 3106, it is listed as a heavy now, but I still play it like I did before. You know, it is decent armor, you know, if you look at it as a medium. But if you're against 8s, your armor is not really gonna do much. So I'm gonna play it safe and take a slightly longer approach to get over to the hill here. And I think that'll help me out here. There we go. That should fix things there. Hello, Cactus. Nice to see you. Trust me, I think there were a lot of people angry on the forums about the tank sales. Like, I was a little bit frustrated too. Like, I kind of get it. Like, the way Wargaming does discounts and stuff, each server, like outside of the Russian one, because they get a lot more discounts and stuff than we do. You know, they get like kind of like a, you're allowed to do this much, blah blah blah, you know, per quarter, and it just seems like Wargaming North America focused more on Thanksgiving this year than they have New Year's and Christmas. But it just kind of sucks that this is the first year. Yeah, it just, you know, I was looking forward to it. I had a lot of credits, and now I'm kind of broke buying the Panther 2, and I have the T-57 Heavy as well. I just purchased. There's a couple little buildings in between me and him that are causing a little bit of hiccups here. Luckily, I have plenty of shells. The Mutant 6, they did sell it very briefly for like a few hours a couple years ago, and people got very pissed off that people were selling the pre-order tank, so they pulled it, vowed that they were never going to sell it again, at least on the NA server. Whether or not they do sell it, basically down to Wargaming, they're not legally bound by anything to not sell it anymore. Yes, it was a pre-order tank, but it was never specifically stated that it would never be sold again. It just more or less comes down to whether they decide to, sell it or not. Okay, now I gotta worry about these tanks over here. Especially this little guy, he pushed up pretty far there. Yep, I'm about to get spotted here. Be nice if I could track him. There we go, I'll take that. Who needs to track him when you can kill him? Alright, I'm gonna venture to say no. I just missed both of those shots there. Yes, I do, Graham. I have that gun on here. There's two viable top guns. I like this one a little bit more for how I play this tank, though. There's no, wrong choice, though. Outside of the only thing that annoys me about this is I do not have any HE rounds. You guys know how much I like using HE at times. This is actually what I was kind of discussing a match I had in my IS-7 against a T-95 earlier, where I lost a one-on-one duel after doing 6k damage. It was me with 10 HP against a T-95 with a little over 100 HP on Ensk. So we both kind of got cornered, and there's no way for either of us to maneuver. It was like a 6-minute fight poking out, and I didn't have basically I'd blown my HE, I had blown my premium rounds. All I had left was AP, and there was no way I could deal with him, and he just ended up, whittling me down with HE until he popped me at the end. But yeah, a lot of people, like I keep seeing like doom and gloom, world tanks is dying, but honestly, the server population hasn't necessarily gone down. It's just, I think, since it's an older game, people don't play as long now as they might have when they were grinding a lot before. But the player base is still, I feel like, slightly growing still. Yeah, both us, me being in this and the M6, we were pretty, tall tanks for being low tiers up on the hill. But I pretty much treat this like a medium tank. It used to be classified as one. Holy shit, an E25 just rammed a Hellcat. Even though it's classified as a heavy now, I don't really treat it like it is one. Right, I have no business fighting a prototype, but he does have his side towards me. I'll take that. Thank you for the free damage and a little bit of cat points. I'm venturing to say this Cromwell B should be able to kill him. Maybe? There we go. I was getting a little bit worried there. um, Echo Baby, the 201 penetration one would be better for the T-54. Better gun handling, I believe. Better DPM. It just same premium round. So the little bit less pen you have on AP isn't that big of a factor. Yes, I did see that, John. The T28 F30 premium. Alright, so here's going to be my first match ever in the Panther 2. I had to gut the Panther because there wasn't a sale. You know, there's no tier 8 to 10 15% off sale. So I had to gut the Panther just to get equipment on this thing. Yes, I do. I do have the Matilda Black Prince, if you would like me to play that. Yeah, hash. Uh, I like hash though, Graham. Hello, Saljan. Nice to see you. Almost missed you there. But yeah, Garv, if you want me to play the Black Prince, I can. I'm tempted not to go over here, but it's just I don't think I'm going to get much help over here, so I'm not going to be able to exactly push. Kind of have to get the feel of this tank compared to the Panther, since it's my first time driving this in quite some time. Honestly, yeah, I'm not even gonna bother coming over here. It's like there's an IS-2 in the base. Now we're actually getting some people over here, but IS-2 should be passing by the time I get to him. Alright, now that I got a couple people, I'll gladly push down here a little bit and see what I run into. But yeah, earlier I was, you know, getting my 5X's and stuff done and also trying to muster up enough credits for equipment for this, and alright, that's a shot from something. It's gotta be a little pinch careful here. Those guys are gonna pop out that way, so I'll slot in front of him. So he's gonna start panicking here in a... Shit. Oh, I forgot that, you know, it has those solid blocks there. I'll take a crack here. Or not, he's not even aiming at me. Alright, that makes things a lot easier there. I do not have the E50 or E50M, unfortunately. Sorry. This is the furthest I am in this line. Holy shit, that hurt. I was not... I saw the artillery shoot right before that, but I was not expecting that big of a hit. If I could say so myself. Alright, I have to keep a very good eye on my right side. I'll gladly trade a shot with him if it means that I can... Oh, Lord. I forgot about a little bit of input lag. But yeah, I do not have a repair crew on this, so I'm being Little extra cautious here, and I'm gonna drive backwards. Hopefully that opens up a little window here for them. Sorry, SP1C. Alright, I was hoping I would have bounced. Ooh, that's hurting a little bit. Stop doing that, please. Oh well. Once I got tracked there, I was gonna definitely die. But still did 1500 damage, not too shabby. And we're gonna get a win. US medium, I do not have the tier 9 in that either, sorry. I have the tier 8 and I have the tier 10. Alright, so I got the Matilda Matilda Black Prince. I have the Super P. Alright, so let me find the Matilda Black Prince. It is somewhere in the depths of my garage, I believe. Or did I pass it? Yeah. Oh, I'm extremely horrible at finding tanks. I'm clueless right now. Let me narrow this down. I have not been drinking eggnog either. There it is. Duh. I just don't have equipment on it, but I'm not gonna bother putting equipment on this. Oh, yeah, I do have that one. Thank you, Uber, for. I can do that, Nelson. T54E1. Hello, nice cup, and nice to see you. Which, thank you very much, Nelson, for your tip. Happy New Year to you as well, and everybody else. I don't know if I want to bring that in a tier 10 match. AC4. Alright, AC4 experimental. I can do that as well. This thing struggles even freaking against tier 5s. Hello, Jones. Nice to see you. Martin, the T29. I can play that for you. Thank you, Graham, about the Panther, too. I'm pretty much going to play it just like I did the Panther. Pretty cautiously to begin with, mid-range, but just getting Ensk. I've got that so much today, honestly, and I've gotten a lot of Ensk and basically scout maps for the most part today. Yeah, that's if I actually own those. See, that's the problem. Like equipment right now, I have no spares at all. That's what I mean as far as putting equipment on. I don't mind demounting equipment. It's just credit-wise, I literally do not have credits again since there wasn't a sale. So I still need to buy the tier 7 German medium in the Leopard 1 line. And I'm getting pretty close to the OHO and also the tier 7 SP1C German light. So a little bit short on credits again. Yeah, the T29, once you get it fully upgraded, it's, you know, it's hard to complain about the tank. It's definitely, I would say by a bit of a margin, the best tier 7 heavy tank. Now, the Matilda Black Prince here, I don't have equipment on it first, which is not helping with the aim a little bit, but more or less this is essentially like a little pocket Churchill 3 with slightly worse armor and almost the same mobility. I don't want to push out here because we don't have people on the hill, but I almost kind of have to because we're just going to be surrounded in this little corner on the train tracks and we're going to lose. So I might as well try to get a couple shots in before that happens. But yeah, this is not exactly going to go well for my team here. I've never seen camping the train yard work out for either team. Holy shit. I knew they could see me, but again, I'm surprised I just got whacked 2 times through that little opening. I am not having luck with getting shot from the hill, obviously. Just gonna wait for him to push out. Like, really at this point, I'm just trying to get some shots off. This tank, unlike the Churchill 3, it doesn't have just one weak spot. The Churchill 3 has that really weak turret front, but this tank, its armor all around is pretty bad at tier 5. It's like the armor works at tier 4, but at tier 5 it just does not work as much as you would like it to. Shit, I went the wrong way. At least I can kill one poor soul here. I am sorry, dude. I did not block you there, but yeah, I'm dead. Alright, so next request up was the Super Pershing. But there's a reason why it's like I don't mind playing down to tier 4, but balancing still from 4 till about 6, it's really hit or miss, especially when Matchmaker puts you bottom tier. It's a lot harder to actually do anything in a battle. But that's just one of the things. Like, you know, if you're a tier 8 and a 10, at least your HP is kind of comparable. Whereas if you're in a tier 5 facing a tier 7, a lot of times their guns can kill you in 2 hits. They have double the HP, and yeah. Yeah, I can play those 2, the Sherman Jumbo, T20, and I can do a Swedish tank. I have both of those, which I haven't done the 5 excellence on them, so thanks for reminding me, Nelson. I know that you can swap them between tanks, Uber. Yeah, it's just I think I have 1 camo net at my disposal, or I might have 2 actually. I'm not sure. I might still have 1 toolbox. I think I have 1 on my Scorpion G actually. So I guess I could have pulled it off of that. But yeah, that's something a lot of American tanks, they have those tracks basically running along the whole side of their armor. Now, this is going to be a difficult fight for us. Unfortunately, the other team has a pretty good platoon, but I'm just looking at our matchup, and everyone's going to the hill. I'm going to go in the center, I guess, because we have 1 tank there, and we have no spotter on this side. Yeah. This is not gonna... I can already see from the start, just the way that our team's, you know, fanning out, it's gonna be a little brutal for us. I kind of mailed in the Matilda game. not to say I did, but once I pushed out and saw my team all sitting back there, there's literally nothing I can do. But unfortunately, that's part of the problem with slow tanks like that, which it does have a good gun DPM wise, but it just has been freaking power creeped as all hell. Armor doesn't work. It's very slow. By the time you get to the front line, you can't really do much. It's like at least some tanks, like say like the T95 or something, when you get to the front line, at least your armor somewhat works. Like the Total Black Prince, you just get freaking chewed apart. Alright, I know I'm using APCR and wasting one against him, but at least they're one of two light tanks are gone. Now, problem I'm gonna have is there's gonna be a lot of enemies over on that hill, so at least there's not really any enemies right now in front of me, because that'll make it a little bit easier for our hill people, for lack of better words, to push. Just need to wait for this IS-3, hopefully to pop above the spots where I can hit him. It's not a good sign, seeing basically that platoon, they're all sitting in the center. They're going to wait for them to get spotted on the hill, and they are going to tear them to shreds. I'm going to stick with APCR for now, since while we are ahead by one tank, I would very much like to continue to penetrate all these tanks over here. Shit, I guess I aimed a little bit too low there. I'm just going to keep whacking down their tanks in the front, because my main goal right now is to hopefully prevent our people on the hill from taking a lot of damage, since that's what they are now. So I want to try to get them, unspotted as fast as possible. I guess missed that one. But yeah, the enemy's just kind of poking up more or less one at a time. I guess I could swap the AP for this little Cromwell here. Now I'm spotted, so that makes my life a little bit harder. And go figure, I'd bounce AP off the frickin' Cromwell. KV4, he deserves a little bit of APCR in him, but like, I'm still really concerned, because now, more or less, we need to somehow get our hill capable of pushing over. Which that guy is... it's probably... it's rendering wrong. It's just a little jittery to make it hard for me to aim at him. Alright. I guess I can help with here. I'm surprised this guy... There we go. That AT-7 had really good, line of sight on him. Luckily, the Scorpion G is a little bit tall. Alright, he looks like he's going to pop up here, maybe. Nope. I just took a stupid shot there. Just trying to be a little bit greedy and get a cheap hit on that Scorpion G. I'm gonna try to catch up on chat here in a minute. So this is pretty much, we're neck and neck, both teams here. Shit, this IS-3, good. Let's say they got him out. It's just we're down to a couple tanks here. Shit. He's He's kind of pulling me. He's pulling me up, which the problem I have against this Pershing is he's not getting shot from these guys because they were focusing on the KV-4. Because he was pretty much loud and clear right in front of them. After this, next up was the T-54E1. We have the AC-4 Experimental, T-29 Sherman Jumbo, T-20 Swedish Tank. Our problem, the Pershing here. There we go. They're getting a couple little hits on them now. It's just, our problem is we don't really have any tank to really push out right now. I can take a little bit of a shit, there's a T-25 here. Great, he got tracked. Just this Pershing is trying to peek over to get a couple sneaky little shots on us again. Very nice. Let's see if they can re-spot the hill for us here. He's too low for me to be able to peek over and hit him now. If he gets a little bit higher, can possibly get a shot at him. Oh, shit, they're making their move. Holy shit, the Firefly is making his move. All this Pershing's a little distracted. I'm just gonna sneak one right into his mantlet. Awesome. There we go. Just need to, yeah, we need to get these two guys in the center are a big problem. Shit. I was hoping I'd, you know, be able to hit him, which, alright, I don't know where our arty is. I can't really see. I was trying to see if I could see his silhouette there. The Swedish TDs get good starting mainly at tier 8, but I don't really have too much of an opinion on the lower tiers outside of, I think the tier 5's not too great if I remember correctly. The tier 6 is okay. The 7 I wasn't too fond of. Just statistically, I didn't actually get to test them on the test server. I own them right now, but I don't have them crewed up. Alright, Artie, are you actually playing? Like, I am starting to wonder, because I'm not seeing any SPG shots where I should be seeing them. Alright, that Strev should have a shot in the AT-8. If I can see his silhouette, he had a little sliver. Oh, Lord. If that was a KV-2, I know I would have hit him. You know, when your freaking KV-2 shots just snipe people from across the map. Nice, Phoenix. How's that coming along? I'm kind of waiting for someone else to kind of poke up and do something, but I guess I'm gonna have to do something here. Like, AMX, why are you... Our AMX is frickin' coming all the way back here. Like, I'm gonna take a little bit of a risk here, but I might honestly die. I just got spotted. There we go. Awesome. Good job, TD. I'm honestly just gonna wait for him. Very nice. There we go. Now we just have to get the Scorpion G, which I think is back in A6, but I could be wrong. Ah, there he is. Awesome. Whew, I used a lot of APCR in this match, but hell, we finally got it. I'm going to be very curious to see if our Lorraine is actually playing. He hasn't moved, which, who knows about an SPG. But, I have not seen any shots getting flung out from that direction. I don't know how we pulled this off. There already is an AFK. He's actually playing. He just wasn't shooting at me, which I was a little bit surprised at. But, that was a lot of freaking credits and experience there. Holy shit. 10,000 experience with all the bonuses I have. Very nice job by everybody, though, on our team. At least there at the end, but our SPG was playing somehow. I do not know how, but, yeah, I did not see him shoot at all. Guess he was shooting it everywhere I wasn't looking. Thank you very much for the good games. Alright, T54E1 was the next request. It's right there. Alright, time to catch up on chat here. But getting back to like the UDES, I've been getting been getting more a hang of like the Swedish TD I'm playing now. Like I am working on credits again to get there we go. I've got these Swedish TDs ready to go as well. I just need freaking equipment for them to play them and also to get the modules for them. But hello, Jerry. Yes, the last, or potentially the last time that you guys will see this for a while. But I've been getting a hang of them a little bit more. It's just they are very one-dimensional with being pure mid-range to long-range fighters. But I've found using a few of like the quirky spots, because they can use some of those really elevated spots on maps, say like up here in this area and like sitting back far on these hills, to get some weird shots off, whereas other tanks would need to like crest over those spots to point their guns down. The Swedish TDs can set up on the backside of the ridges and kind of elevate the back of their tank to shoot over them. It's like I had one game in this was yesterday, I believe, the Tier 8 Swedish TD on the name is escaping me now. I forget the name, actually. Oh well. But essentially, there's a spot where I've seen a lot of people go before, and I thought it was useless. So I'm like, why don't I go up there in the Swedish TD? And I got, I think, 5,000 damage from it, and I was like, holy shit, like... I honestly forget the name of it. It's the winter map with the channel I always fall into in the town. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna have to be a little bit careful here, but at least there are no SPGs. I'm gonna dive down here. Yeah, until next Christmas, maybe Christmas in July. We never know. It might make an appearance every now and then. Thank you, E50. I was not expecting to get shot from the center, considering, yep, right where that E50 is, he should be spotted fairly easily, as well as, yeah, I'm going to take a lot of damage here. But at least I'm spotting for my team. I guess that accounts for something. I just kind of forgot I was the only spotter, more or less. I just have to be a little bit careful about this little punk up here. I've grown to hate light tanks. As far as taking little shots from them, it annoys the hell out of me. But unfortunately, the gun elevation on this thing is pretty lackluster. So actually getting a shot on him is a lot harder than what it would appear. Oh, Lord. I knew he was there, but I was actually banking on getting back before, you know, he was able to plot me. But, oh well. That was my own fault. I've been playing the T-54E1 better, but I played that differently than you usually should play. Thank you very much, Jerry. Much appreciated. Ryan is feeling better. She wasn't here right before I start streaming. She's been doing schoolwork stuff because she starts she starts student teaching here next week, and our house guest left, so we finally have a little bit of a actual break now. Thanks for asking, though. Ah, cool. That sounds pretty cool, Rage and Phoenix. If I could choose between the two, I don't own the M46, but I would say for most matches, the M46 is the better medium. But the T-54E1 has grown on me a little bit. I would honestly say in today's game, the T-54E1 is probably better, just because it has more damage capability. But the M46 is definitely... What is... That guy just, like, shot the mountain. I think the Borsig. I guess he's having really bad lag. But the M46 is definitely the better medium tank. It's actually, all around stat-wise, it's a very solid Tier 9 medium. She actually, talking about Ryan, she actually tried PlayStation VR the other day. I know I told you guys I got that, and it made her look queasy. Granted, I'm sure everyone's heard of the game EVE Online. They have a game, it's called EVE Valkyrie on PlayStation that uses VR. Oh god, it's like playing in a, like a dogfighting, like little spaceship against other people. I played it for 30 minutes and I felt woozy for about the entire day. I'm gonna definitely have to moderate myself on that. Alright, so AC4 experimental was the next request here. There it is. I saw the Sentinel there. Yeah, honestly, people always say, or not a lot of people, but there's a vocal minority that is like, remove already from the game and blah blah blah, and they're very vocal about it. But honestly, matches like that where both sides just kind of sit there and you know, because World of Tanks, the vision, you know, is different. It's not like you can see everything across the map. It's, you know, cut off at a certain range. Basically, all the matches, if there was no arty, would just equate to giant clumps of tanks sitting on both sides, and then a couple tanks just kind of peeking out, spotting each other. It's, you know, a lot less intuitive. Um, but not surprised that we ended up losing that. Yeah, it's just, I always equate to, you know, the 5x weekends and stuff and holiday weekends as it's just things are more unpredictable. Like usually, you know, not the games play out the same every time, but typically, you know, matches you kind of know how they're going to play out. 5x's, you never know what is going to happen. You have people playing that might not play often, but they have lag and they're trying to get 5x's, maybe like that Borsig, um, stuff like that. So are you watching the live stream? I didn't think anybody was watching it. I don't know if he's actually referring to me. Hello, if you are. Uh, so after this is the T-29, Sherman Jumbo, T-20, and I'll play both Swedish tanks. Unpredictable is a very kind word for it. I try to be, you know, nice and generous. I'm not going to say that, you know, all the bad people play during this time, but because I don't think that's true, honestly. It's just, you know, it's, you know, people who don't play as regularly actually have time to play during the weekend, so it basically changes up, you know, how matches work out. That's my opinion, though. You can definitely feel the engine difference between this and the closest tank to it, the Firefly. I am going to appreciate the gun depression here if I don't get whacked by an M44 with freaking heat through the roof. That would be very painful. Alrighty now. Fortunately, he was the first one spotted. As far as the first one to crest the hill, and the first one to die. Just kind of using, like, I'm gonna be bouncing a lot off of the T150, but what I was kind of telling you a lot of people do, you just kind of poke, take a shot, pull back, don't bother to aim in. You know, you take less damage most of the time. Although I do have this gigantic, or I did have a gigantic one facing me. It's just, it's better than poking out and sitting there. People will definitely be able to hit you more than you would like. Alright. I've got to worry about this Cromwell here. This Tog 2, also got to worry. Ooh, he actually hit me there. Luckily, compared to the Firefly, this thing has a lot more gun depression to work with. Ooh, my FPS is hating me right now. Oh, smoke does not... Ooh, that hurt a little bit. I was not expecting to get hit by that TD back there. Yeah, I need to stop moving in the same spot. Luckily, I just bounced, you know, that Swedish TD hitting me. Hello, Mojo. Nice to see you. Hello, Walter, as well. Happy New Year to you, too. Yeah, I can play the Touran 3. The M4 improved. Honestly, don't buy it. I have one because I like M4 tanks, and I kind of like the collect a lot of different ones, but honestly, it's not worth any money. Don't just save your money and get a different premium. It's not a good tank. Essentially, you're playing a slightly better armor than the M4, the standard one. However, you're playing with the stock gun every single match without preferential matchmaking, so you're pretty much going to hate that tank. The matchmaking changes are, like, there's definitely the light tanks becoming ±2, but it's going to be interesting. I know a lot of people are discussing it. When I always say I know a lot of people, but I read the forums a lot, and it's something I see popping up a lot. More or less what they're doing with matchmaking is they're making it, you know, ±2 for all tanks except for preferential tanks, and essentially they're changing the way the spread of tiers are in matches to where, awesome. Obviously, he was aiming this way. Alright, I think we're still going to be fine here, I believe. But maybe not now. Thank you for the subscription, Marius. Essentially, they're looking to do it. Say it's tier 8 match. Top tier, they're gonna have like 3 tier 8s, and then, you know, I think about 4 to 5 tier 7s, and then the rest low tiers. That way it's a little bit easier in a way for bottom tiers, and, you know, top tiers can still feel, you know, say superior than the lower tiers, but it's not like you're gonna have, you know, an entire team like half up tier 8s, a bunch of 7s, and then like 1 or 2 6s that are just screwed. But it is gonna definitely change matches a lot. So it'll be interesting to see if it works. It's definitely not going to be as rigid as well, that too. They're trying to mirror classes as well. Hello, Jerry. Which if anybody wants to platoon, you know, just message me here. Next up was the T-29. Trying, there we go. But if you want, I can play the M4 improved for you. It's like I have a few more requests here. Let me add the Torn 3 to it. It's like it's not a good tank though. It won't affect anything, Graham, as far as the matchmaker changes. You know, it might add a couple seconds to the queue, but it's not going to be that noticeable. It's like currently, if you look at most matches, it's like essentially there's, you know, matchmaker brackets that form the basic outline of the teams. If you look at them, most matches are kind of similar to what they're proposing now. They're just making it a little bit more. They're taking out the extreme cases where you have like one team with like 10 tier 10 TDs and heavies, the other with 10 tier 10 just mediums, and then, you know, a couple 9s and 8s sprinkled in there. It's going to be a lot more mirrored without being. Hello, Arthur. I do not speak French, but hello. Guess I'll say bonjour, even though I did not pronounce that at all correctly. But more or less, it seems very rigid what they're talking about, you know, with like just 3 of this and 5 of this for top tier, mid tier, and stuff. It's definitely going to have a little bit of wiggle room, so it's not going to feel stale. Alright, so I know where their M44 is aiming. Honestly, I'm more concerned with over here. This Type 59, holy shit, dude. He got freaking lucky as all hell. Alright, I'm gonna focus on you then. You're popping out here like a crazy person. I just wish that, you know, he keeps popping out the same thing over and over, that our SPG would take a crack at him, because that's what would deal a really big blow. But I need to pull back, honestly, now. It's like I'm not able to hide my hole up here close. Yeah, this is one of the fights where both of our tier 8s are sitting in the back. Yep. Awesome. Like, I don't know what they're waiting for. There is literally nothing there. It's like the Scorpion G at the very least can take shots at shots on the hill here. But yeah. Ah, Lord, I didn't kill him. Any chance I had of taking anybody with me is down the drain. Unfortunately, you're just the one that was in front of me. Oh, Lord. Yeah, it's gonna sound very mean here, but the Scorpion G, I'm fine with that guy, because if you see where he was shooting up at, he had very good shots there. But the 112, I have no idea what that guy was doing. Sorry that didn't really show off how to play the T-29, but more or less, sure, I'll invite you here. The T-29, I should have went back to that spot I was at initially, or not initially, at the end there, because it hid my hull. Really, if you hide the hull of the T-29, it's really easy to bounce a ton of damage. So it was just a little bit of oversight there. So next request I have up was the Jumbo Sherman here. Yeah, I can add the KV2 on here. Have a lot of mid-tier requests today, it seems like. Hello, Parker. Nice to see you. Well, it will and it won't. Like, the way it looks, like, I think because they do have to test the matchmaker queue out a bit, the way I see it working out is if they keep it to only having like 3 top tier tanks, like, it's going to be a little bit different for tier 9 and 10. They're still going to have different matchmaking queues. They're not going to only allow, 3 tier 10s in a match and, cap it at that. They're talking more for, mid-tier battles up to about tier 9. More or less, it will make it a little bit more dependent on those top tanks, but at the same time, it does improve your bottom tiers. So they're going to be, capable of doing a little bit more. So, it'll balance out a little bit, but you are correct where it is going to make being top tier a little bit more important. Well, honestly, the modding for World of Tanks, it does more good than bad. Honestly, for a long time, like starting the game, because I used to use mods back when the game, quite frankly, starting out in World of Tanks, the game was the UI was terrible. And you almost needed mods to actually play the game somewhat effectively. That's why they're still in here. They don't want to remove it and shoot themselves in the foot with a huge chunk of the player base. My favorite Chex tank, I only have one of them, but I can add that one on. Which, holy shit, I guess I almost drove in the water. The jumbo without the derp? I've always played it without the 105 as far as the last, 2+ years. I just like the 76 millimeter over it for most matches. How has this guy not gotten shot? But, it definitely, you can play it either way with the 105 stock turret. 105 upgraded turret is actually not too bad. Because honestly, the amount of times you get hit, in these sections, I think the upgraded turret's worth it because of the view range and added firepower. But I like the 76 over the 105. But that's just me. The 105 definitely is better when you're faced off against a lot of higher tiers. One of my unpredictable games. Well, as far as low population on the North American server, Graham, that's what he said is about right. Probably 5,000, but that's really just in like very early morning. That's the case there. Again, I do not know why he has not been shot yet. Granted, I guess missed him, but I honestly do not know, John, off the top of my head. Yeah. Um, it definitely, mods have been very good to the game. I'm trying to use my words carefully because I know some people disagree, but um, you can, the cheating part of it definitely is a bad part, but it has, pushed the game forward in a few ways, whereas wargaming, everyone knows how slow they can work at times and closed-minded they can be. Without mods, I doubt we would have some of the features that we like in the game now, like the mini-map, view range circles, stuff like that. Even the better crosshair. Like the old crosshair started out in World of Tanks was freaking atrocious. Like that's when I mainly used mods. I used crosshair mods and stuff like that because I couldn't even aim with the standard freaking aiming circle. It's so much better nowadays. Aimbots is definitely a mod, yes. Which surprisingly, I get accused for using them all the time when I do replays over, or I do recordings of my replays. People can't grasp that in replays, you can move your mouse around, different than what you're seeing from the actual replay. That way you can get a different views when you're recording. I get accused of using aimbots all the time, which is quite frankly hilarious. But the amount of cheating going on, like Wargaming does ban people now for it because they can detect what mods you're using. But it is a very low percentage, the amount of people that cheat. How is that guy not getting shot as well? Oh lord. I gotta pull on back here before I get E25'd. Yes, I did just use auto aim there. I will use auto aim in certain instances. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get to this guy. Honestly, there isn't. Like, it's just I feel like people blame more, this is cheating and stuff like that. Honestly, the amount of people using stuff like that is very low. since they are banning people that they can detect, and you know, at some point, most amount of damage, not too bad. You know, using the 76mm maybe isn't a bad idea, guys. All right. Next one up is the T20 here. Well, everyone has their own opinions. And it looks like he's back. Which if 4Play pops on, I know 4Play wanted to platoon, but it doesn't look like he's on yet. Honestly, the amount of times I can remember someone potentially cheating is very low as well. Really the only ones I see nowadays that you can, like some of the one like the aimbot things, you can aim better if you're paying attention, honestly. Like it does it automatically. Yes, it's cheating. I'm not saying it isn't, but it's still a computer aiming for you, and it does have a reaction time that's delayed, and a lot of times it doesn't do what it says it will. But essentially, the one that gets me is, you know, the destruction mod one that shows you where things are broken on the map. That one I think is the worst offender right now, because that one makes playing SPGs pretty freaking brutal for the enemy team. Like sometimes, say I'm running across this a little bit further on, that's where you get those shots where you're not spotted, but the enemy SPG can kind of see where you're breaking stuff, and then you stop, and that's where they blind shot you and hit you. That's the biggest offender. But I believe that's not going to be around for too much longer. So yeah, you know, it's like I only consider mods cheating, you know, if they give you an unfair advantage. It's like XVM, stuff like that. I think that just brews more negativity than actual. Great, you freaking killed my gunner. Awesome. It's like, yes, it does show you the good, bad players on an enemy team, but I don't always think that's a good thing. Like, you know, just because, like, say myself, I do some really stupid shit sometimes. Like, if someone's using XVM to focus on me in one of those matches, they're actually doing themselves a disservice. Lord. Now I'm gonna hope I don't get whacked by another arty before I repair here. Trying to squeak in one more shot. Merry Christmas to you as well, Jay, and you know, Happy New Year. Hope everyone's gonna have a fun New Year's. I think Ryan and I are gonna, you know, keep it a little bit low key, considering our past couple weeks have been, you know, very busy. Right, usually for New Year's, you know, we go to Philly for mummers and stuff. Okie dokie, that guy is definitely in a spot where he should be shot by all those people that way, and he did not receive any damage. That has been a very glaring trend. Alright, now if this VK gets by here, we are screwed. Ah, Lord. I was hoping he would come to his senses and... Yep. Let's go ram him because I would have taken more damage had I winged. But now I'm getting hit by this frickin' AMX again. Thank you very much, guys. I'm still kind of maybe alive here. No. Hey, we're doing a pretty good job over here. Right, he just got whacked too. It's just, what is our other side doing now? Like, I don't know what's going on here. It's like, they don't see anything over here right now. And you see all their tanks sitting right there. That's a very large, it's basically all of their top tiers right now. Outside of the Scorpion G we don't really see. But the rest of them we do. But, what can you do? Alright. So Swedish tanks are up next. Alright, so next tank up in the list was Swedish tanks, so why don't I hop into tier 8 there. Alright, but as far as requests, I got these Swedish here. I have the Torn 3. I didn't actually get an M4 improved request, but I will try to hop into it. KV2 and a Czechs tank so far. That might get us to the end, because I only have 40 minutes left here. We'll see, though. But yeah, as far as the UDES here, if I can find it really quick. There we go. Vehicles. Whoops, I did not want to do that. Here we go. It's like I have 62% win rate so far in it. A little over 2100 damage per match, which isn't bad for a tier 8. Even considering it's a TD. It's like just comparing it to the closest one, Tortoise. A little bit less damage, and the Tortoise, you know, is a tier higher. I have not. I actually have one. I haven't played it Nice Cuppa, but I got an itch for it today, honestly. I was going through a lot of my old videos that I hadn't released for one reason or another, and a lot of World of Warships ones were on there. They just weren't edited right. So I wouldn't be surprised if you... I don't know what my friends list looks like over there now, but if I might pop on there sometime this upcoming week. I'm going to be updating the game here tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going yet, to be honest. It's like, fortunately, I can be a little bit more... yeah, I'm gonna head that way. No, I see. As part of the reason I saw the captain crew skill changes, stuff like that, I'm gonna need to pop in there, honestly, so I can, because I have a World of Warships section on my website on Men's Gaming. Honestly, it is really outdated, parts of it, but I plan on, you know, starting to update that again. So I'm going to need to, you know, at least play to know the differences between things. Oh, please kill that LTTB. Oh, I shot a little too quick for him. Honestly, I haven't had too much luck on this map with this tank, if I can say so. I find it a lot better on maps where, you know, you have basically you can kind of know where enemy tanks are going to be coming from. Like this map, yes, it's essentially 3 giant lanes, more or less. But it's a little bit more unpredictable than some. I can't believe they let this LTTB through. Holy shit, he's turning around. Thank you very much. So I'd say you had a very good shot at killing Artie there. But I just find, you know, with this tank, you're not really able to push out very far. Especially early on. It's just, you can't influence a lot in the beginning, I find. I'm very tempted to run over to the hill. But since they do have an SPG, that's a little bit more risky than I would like to do. Alright, let me get to a spot where I can hit this fellow here. I thought I might have a shot on his turret. I guess not. But seeing as they've kind of backed off a bit, especially if their light tanks are out now, I'll be able to hopefully pop up here semi-safely. Now I just need someone to spot a little bit for me. Okay. I can get a lot better shots if I move a little bit further up, but I'm extremely worried about what's in front of me right now. Alright, let's focus on one tank at a time. Shit, I just saw a couple of mainly the Kronwagen moving over. He can spot me here extremely soon. Just keeping an eye on him. But you'll be hard pressed to find an easier gun to use at tier 8. Just gun stat wise. The hull on this definitely limits the tank. But just based off of the gun stats, it's a pretty awesome gun. Honestly, I'm going to cut my gains and run. I wouldn't blame the T-92. He's probably doing his best here. Yeah, but there's not much we can do now. Like, honestly. But that's kind of the problem with this tank is, you know, it's very hard to influence the first little bits of some maps. Just because it is very hard to get yourself out of, say you come across like a tank right in the beginning and you're not set up to where, you know, it's hard to hit you. It's very hard to survive a, you know, brawl in this thing. Ooh, I actually tracked him. Hope he does not have a repair kit. I could score a little bit of assist damage, but nah. Surprisingly, the 3 of us are the last ones alive. I guess we're chai snipers or whatever. You know, they're probably gonna blame this entirely on us. But whatever. About to say, I'm not gonna get another shot off. Hello, GG. Hello, Marshmallows as well. Nice to see you too. This TD? Not this one, John. This one you can get overmatched. The tier 8 very easily. Which I got a bit of damage, but oh, that E5 freaking destroyed us. But this one, you literally you cannot bounce shots in that thing. Specifically, the whole armor is only 20 millimeters thick. It's once you get to the tier 9 and the tier 10 specifically where you can start bouncing stuff, because it gets thicker. Yeah, I don't know what our T-92 was doing. Yeah, he actually got a couple hits, but he only shot 3 times. That's not a good indicator. I always try to, you know, take shots. Even if they're not the best, you got to keep shooting if you're in an SPG. Yeah, it's, John, specifically the 9 and 10 that can bounce a lot. Well, honestly, outside of siege mode, they can't do too much to change it. Like, really, the gun stats and stats in general outside of siege mode they're workable. It's just the gun on the tier 8, it points slightly up. It doesn't have gun depression. It actually points slightly up. So if you're fighting a small tank, it can be hard to actually hit them. But the 9 and 10, that problem goes away because it's more straight. It's not pointing up. I think, they perform all right outside of siege mode, firepower wise. You're just never really going to use it. You're going to take like a shot or two and, kind of scoot away. Or you can kind of circle tanks in it very well because it reverses essentially the same speed as going forward. Like, I don't think they're bad tanks. They're very good at damage. It's just they're really dependent on finding the best spot to set up in and get the damage early on. But some maps, they're not the best at actually accomplishing that goal at. Now, the mid-tier Swedish tanks, I do think need buff. That's why I started at tier 8, because a lot of the lower tier, mid-tier ones are just... I don't think they're very good. They're just a little bit too squishy. They could very much use a, slight HP buff or something. Excuse me. I started the Swedish mediums right here. The last one, the Leopard. They're not bad. They have very good gun depression and pretty good guns. They're just extremely fragile. I'm hoping Martine pushes in with me. I'm going out on a limb here. But, I think the Swedish heavy / medium line is better overall than the TD line. But the TD line, at tier 8 to 10 is extremely... You're not going to find better guns for, long-range support. I will say, if you hate being one-shotted by artillery, do not play the Swedish TDs. They're probably the most vulnerable line to SPGs in the game currently. I was kind of expecting to... I knew that they have more heavies than us, but... they're grouped up, in a pretty tough spot for us to crack. I don't know why they're saying they're going to crush us. They're against TDs. They're not going to be hard pressed to win against them as long as they play smart and don't push into them stupidly. Alright, the VK moved over that way. I need to use APCR. This thing lacks penetration. I'm slowly adding more HE rounds to this thing every game. But you can use the other gun that virtually makes it the same as the Comet. Just a little bit worse off DPM-wise, I believe. Alright, we're starting to chip away at some of their support tanks here, which is very nice. Is this VK? Yep, the VK, of course, moved over here. Alright. I'm going to go out on a limb here and try this. Oop, I did not want to take that shot, but I do think that was the best move for me. Alright. Time to switch into a regular AP round. Whew. I did not want to take that shot, which, hello.
Hi.
You did not just creep up on me at all.
Not at all.
Alright. There, he gets shot. This guy really wants to kill me. Here we go. I was not going to let him catch up to me. Yes, I am using the 105 on this. Like the other gun, like I said, it's not bad, but essentially you're playing as a crappy Comet. You know, just going off of the raw gun stats. But it is, yeah, it's a trade-off. This thing doesn't have much accuracy or penetration. Ryan, looks like she does want to play some World of Tanks.
Oh.
Which, of course, I got frickin' spotted here. I hope I can move.
I don't want to play. But I saw a commercial for World of Tanks.
Is that why you popped in here?
No.
It looks like everyone's kind of waiting for me to spot these guys over here. I guess gotta wait a little bit longer. Right, here we go. Everyone's not my sister Ibarix. No, my girlfriend. Alright, now we need these other guys to push up. Oh, that hurt a little bit. There we go. And the other guy got me, of course. Unfortunately, these things have a lot of freaking camouflage. Well, if you guys, as far as the Strev 103B, I have a weak spot guide for it. It can bounce shots. Mainly what you're probably seeing is people playing the Strev when you're shooting at them. When they're in siege mode, they're doing themselves a disservice and they're negating their angle. Jerry's asking where your hat is.
What hat?
Or maybe your sweater.
My sweater is put away.
But yeah, they're negating their angle. That's why you can pen them. Because the armor on the 10 is actually very, very good. Make a plan on World of Tanks, yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah, if one of these... Tunster, if you're watching, one of these guys might be able to pop out if you'd like. Otherwise, next one up is the Torn 3 as far as a request goes. There it is.
I'm going to go back to vegetating.
Alright, have fun vegetating.
Yes, whoever asked, I'm feeling better. Finally.
But yeah, some of the Swedish tanks, you know, even though I don't think they're the best, the mid-tier ones, they still do have a lot of firepower. But It's just some of the TDs are harder to play in the mid tiers than what you might think compared to like siege mode in the higher tiers. Um, it's just a lack of HP and armor. But she's gonna go back and vegetate, as she said. She's been doing schoolwork for the better part of the day. Alright, so after this I have M4 Improve, KV2, a Chex Tank request. See if I can fit them all in. I should be able to. My next stream's going to be Sunday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then my schedule is going to be the same going on forward, at least for the near future. Tuesday, Wednesdays are going to be the early streams. Friday, Sundays will be the late streams. I'll let you guys know if there's any changes to that. Alright, we got a lot of people. We're gonna need 4 in the cap if we want to win. Hey, did it just send one out? Goddamn YouTube, if it's late. But yeah, unless Graham's kind of mentioning, you can set up. It's based off of your YouTube preferences. You can get notifications for my live streams. I'm late there. No, Nelson, it literally means vegetating. Ooh, Lord. Just trying to sneak in a little bit more damage there. And hey, look, the people that went over to the cap are not capping at all, and we're gonna get smashed here. Like, yeah. There's no other words to describe it. You lose the hill on, Himmelsdorf encounter, and you pretty much lose the match most of the time. Like, we're not doing terrible here, but it's about to be extremely one-sided. I'm gonna try to get as much damage as I can here, but nope. But good luck to Spanky and the rest of the guys. Not that, I don't blame him, because, some people do need to go down on the bottom. But these guys here, I always hate when people set up there and, they don't do anything. Hell, sometimes I like to push and flank if I'm in a faster tank, so. Oh well. It is a little bit chilly here. I want it to be colder though. A lot of times, like here, it used to be like end of December, January. It used to be like high 30s here, low 40s at the best. Now it's like 60s some days and in the 50s. It's just disgusting. Like all the plants, not are dead, but they're like went over winter, like hibernating essentially, and everything's just like soggy and nasty. Like, it's just, I hate it. I want it to be cold. I do have a Chex Tank request, Marshmallows. I only have the one premium tank, so I'm pretty sure that's the one. I can hop into that. That's probably going to be my last match of tonight at this rate. Am I replaying? No. Nice, Cuppa. It was a pretty good match, but I have so many replays. I have to kind of be picky nowadays as far as what I record or not and save. I was tempted to, though. Alright, see, it's fine. The M4 improved here. It's really not improved. It looks cool, but well, it is locked behind certain tiers. Encounter and assault, you only unlock them, after you reach a certain tier in a tank. So it is kind of behind. It's locked away from newer players. More or less, like, whoops. I get why some people, you turn them off. They can be frustrating at times, but honestly, I think it keeps things fresh in a way. And I like to change the pace over standard battles. I honestly wish that they would bring back. They used to have what was it called, like confrontation battle or something. It was mixed in with standard battles, where it was like all American tanks versus all like French tanks, stuff like that. French always won, honestly, because they had autoloaders back then. They were the only nation with them. But honestly, I think it would be very good if they brought that back, but made it so it's two nations on one side instead of just one. Because of course, like Swedish tanks, the Czech tanks, Japanese, they'd be at a disadvantage. Same freaking match, except for now we're bottom tier, and I'm using a stock M4 gun. Awesome. Whew, that does not sound good, nice cuppa. The humidity. It's like the heat. I can deal with heat, but yeah, humidity not so much. Well, historical battles. That was a different thing. This was brought back for this was only one patch it made it. Confrontation, I think it was called, or it might have had a different name, but it was where random battles, it was all one nation on one side. Historical battles, they are looking at bringing them back, but they had them in, and it kind of flopped because nobody wanted to play the small lower tiers in them. They're bringing that back at some point. They're introducing something like World of Warships where there's bots. They're going to be doing that for historical battles, where it's probably going to be like 5 players per team, but then there's going to be a lot of smaller, lower tier players on each team with bots for historical. Well, again, it wasn't historical, so the French weren't winning them all because of that. This was something that people got pissed at it because, it was really hard to beat really the French and also to some extent American tanks had a pretty good leg up just because they were very good at a lot of different things, which awesome. I've just lost basically 2/3 of my HP with one shot. The only thing the M4 improved does have over the standard M4, it has very good V range, and speed wise it also is a pinch better for mobility. But outside of that, nope, it's a pretty much worse tank. And holy shit, I'm glad he missed me. Thank you very much for saving me. I'm just hoping one of these tanks does not decide to shoot at me. Uh-oh. Please don't be aiming at me. But yeah, the gun on this thing is just brutal. Oh shit, I'm firing all but APCR. I thought I was firing AP there. Whoopsie daisy. Alright, I'm gonna tuck back here for a second. We have a KD2 using the 107. I think, was it Graham? It was Graham or Uber, I think, talking about that the other day. Ooh, that guy. He is very lucky that little wall's there. I have a feeling we're going to be in a little bit of trouble on this side. we go. Got a little bit more damage in. Whew. Kind of lobbed that one in there. Introducing bots. Well, you know what I mean. You know, AI controlled bots. Honestly, they'll probably play better than most you know, matches that you find currently, because the World of Warships ones aren't that bad. Granted, they cheat a little bit. They say they don't know where you're at before you're spotted, but they do. They have their guns pointed at you already. Oh lord, I'm dead. Yeah, I don't know what our T-29 was doing, but good luck to him killing all the enemies by himself. Hello Shaggy, nice to see you. Alright. Yeah, playing mid-tiers a lot, you know, it's really iffy playing a bunch of mid-tiers, and we've gotten a little bit shafted with Matchmaker tonight, but here's the hoping the KV2 fixes this. Pretty much marshmallows. It's like the M4 Improve, it does have its pluses over it, but the downsides really bring it down below a typical M4. It's just, yeah, it's, if it had preferential matchmaking, it would honestly be a decent premium tank, but without that, it's no. Just save your money and buy a different one if you really want a premium. Hell, I would even consider the Ram 2 if you can find one a better premium than it. Or what other tier? I don't have the Ram 2. I think I sold it way back when, to be honest. That was back when I was doing Clan Wars, and I'm like, I'm never going to play this tank again. And yeah, I stopped doing that though. Alright, so we have the KV2 and then a Czech tank. Donate my hat to him. Maybe I'll have a like little figurine here of him and put my hat on him. Okie dokie. They have a lot of TDs, so I'm actually kind of surprised that we have a tier 7 match as well. Granted, we just got out of one with top tiers for 7, but typically playing in the KV2, you're either top tier or you're against 8s. Oh, the Matilda Black Prince? I haven't sold that one. I was tempted to. But it was the Ram 2 for some reason. I think I got rid of it because I had the Super Pershing at that point. Whereas the Matilda Black Prince, I don't have another, or I didn't at the time, a premium British one. Well, I'm just going to follow this, this line right here and hope that we continue to push. With the amount of TDs they have, we should win this if we push. If we sit around too long, there goes our chances. Come on, guys. There's no arty. They have a bunch of TDs. Oh god. I botched that. But like seriously, what are they were so afraid to push out? Like, all you have to do is not drive in front of all their TDs and you just flank them a little bit at a time and we have this in the bag. Ooh lord, gotta get back before the AT-15A gets me. Like the AT-15A, this should be like his basically perfect battle here for him, but waiting for my Tiger 1 to shoot here. Hopefully I can damage his gun, because that thing is pretty bad with an inaccurate gun. Yes, I do have the 100Y. I don't know if I'll have time to play it tonight. I might, though. Since I'm getting pretty close to... Oh, Lord, I don't know where that shot went, but it did not go in front of me. I'm down to like 8 minutes, give or take a little bit. Alright, I have no idea what you're saying there, Graham. Well, yeah, honestly, you saying that, I would probably take the Matilda Black Prince over the M4 Improve for some matches. I do like the view range and speed on the M4 Improve, but it doesn't make up for its gun 9 out of 10 times. Alright, Tiger 2. I was gonna try to go behind you. It's a T-34, dude. It's not gonna kill you. I guess I'm just gonna head this way. It's like freaking playing bumper cars sometimes. But I might be able to slot into SU-100Y. We'll see. Actually, come to think of it, I should, as long as if the next battle isn't terribly long. Alright, I should survive one shot from him. That was a pretty high roll for that gun. But I'm not going to bank on it. I'm going to hope this Panther pops out for me. Panther. Panther. No, he's going to run away. He's talking Russian to himself. Thank you, Graham. That was a funny one, Uber. Hey, there we go. That guy's got his little target to look at, and pop, you're gone. That's where zoom out mods, can give you a little bit of an advantage. I don't use them, but that's why you see a lot of people use them, because you can zoom out more and can see where people are pointing at. I do agree. I didn't like that it had the extra crew member, honestly, as well. So I had to train one just for that. Alright, Panther. We get that your gunner's out, but we really, really need to reset these guys here. What? How? Honestly, I'm probably going to die here. There we go. They reset him. Thank God. Shoot me. I just don't know how that didn't splash him. It landed right next to him. Like, literally. But I wanted them to shoot me so they could go up and reset. There we go. Whew. It's just, yeah. Yeah, at least we got the win, though. Okay, it's a lot of GGs for... Like, it was a close match, but I'm a little surprised by that. Alright, so we have my lonely check tank. Yeah, not too bad for all of us there. Let's find this little bugger. There we go. Let's go to T40. Yeah, I'll hop into the SU-100Y after this for you. Nice cuppa. What tanks didn't I get a 5X on? I think the Udez there. Did I ever get the Panther 2? I believe. Yes, I did. I might have to hop back on a little bit later. Please do not do that to me, guys. I will get extremely confused. Hey, lo and behold, it is a tier 8 match. Thanks for jinxing me. Whoever requested this, since it's a little bit up in the chat there. Maybe I should also just start chat banning people who speak Russian, who really don't speak Russian as their first language. Or not chat ban, but timeout. I'm just messing around now. I'd be surprised if one of you guys could chat ban me. That would be ironic if... I don't think that would happen, though. I'm not going to type anything in chat now, just in case that's a true thing. Granted, I've had some really fun matches in this thing when I'm top tier. I haven't played it that much, but at least it has a pretty decent gun on it. As far as, holy shit, alpha damage wise, but that is not good for us. I'm going to actually fling that at him, but I'm going to be throwing an HE round as my next shot because I know pen wise I can't pen him from this distance. Frontal armor and all. Tiger 1 I might be able to actually. Not with HE, but I'll actually give it one more shot here. That's it. That sounds interesting for a job. I wouldn't be able to be one of those because I think copyright logs, like, I get why they exist and I think they're a good thing, but reading some news about some stuff, it seems like companies are a little crazy nowadays. Patenting, like Amazon today patented a flying warehouse, like, that delivers using drones and, like, what the hell? Like, wasn't that in a freaking Avengers movie? Like, oh shit, they can spot me now. My bad. But I'll do one more match after this, and you know, that'll be it for today's stream. Next stream, you know, Sunday, 6 to, or no, not 6, 8 to 11 p.m. Got my days messed up there. Nah, just missed them. Ooh, shit, they are piling in there on our poor little Cromwell. One thing I don't like about this gun is the shell velocity in a way, but it's a pinch inaccurate. I have no idea what that KV-85 was doing, but thank you. Like, I deal with it with my videos. YouTube does claim, like, people claim copyrights on them, even to people, like, some weird ones that don't own anything remotely related to wargaming stuff. I get claims for it and I have to fight for it, and it's not actually wargaming claiming them. I've actually had people try to claim that, I forget what it was, but in one of my videos, like, I said a saying or something, and they claimed that my voice was part of a copyright that they had over something, and like, I basically sent them all my like, I sent YouTube everything that I had from wargaming, like, saying, hey, I can, you know, stream this game, monetize it and stuff, and my voice is not copyrightable or whatever. I made like a joke at the end. Needless to say, later that day my video is back to normal, but I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, how does someone claim that they essentially own my voice? Like, this is probably going to be very ill-advised for me to wait for this shot, but I'm going to do it anyway. Whoopsie daisy. Sorry, Spanky. Bring my gun around. I definitely did not just use you as a meat shield. But we have a problem with our southern forces not wanting to push now. We need to run. Oh, there is no way that we can fight against these guys. Ah, shit, dude. Yeah, I'm dead. Uh-oh, I turned my mini-map off. Happy New Year, Vlado. Alright, so one last match here. SU-100Y, and yeah, I passed it. I'm not used to looking for TDs in my Russian tanks. I'm gonna refrain from doing that, GG. Alright, so one last here. A good chef knife for under $100. That's hard to. It's hard to just say anything. Like, I can't shoot you like a URL off the top of my head, but I would say either stick to a Wusthof knife or a Henkel knife. But you should look into essentially both of them. They have really good knives, but they do make different quality knives. You're gonna want to look for a knife. Like, really, you can get like Wusthof and Henkel knives for under $50 now. They're not bad, but essentially get her. Like, if she's just like a home cook, not even a professional cook or whatever, you either want to stick to a Santoku knife. Essentially, it looks like a chef knife, but the blade is flat on the bottom and it rounds up like that, almost like a bullet train shape. You want to get like a 6 to 8 inch one of them, or you don't want a 10-inch chef knife if she's not a professional cook. Stick to like an 8-inch knife for that. But it's like, personally, I have like my Wusthof chef knife. It's like $240. I'll spell it in the chat as far as the way I think they're spelled. It's something along the lines of that off the top of my head. The way that they're spelled. But essentially, my one chef knife from Wusthof, is over 200. I have a Santoku knife from them that's, about 180. Price, it is a good indicator how well a knife is. But typically those two brands you can't do wrong with if you're getting. You want to look, they'll kind of say next to their quality of knives, like professional, home, stuff like that. But those two brands are pretty good. Happy New Year to you as well, Uber. But yeah, essentially don't get her anything over 10 inches, but typically, 8 inch, even if it's like a 9 or something as well. It's good. And if you can, like, a lot of knives have like big blocky handles essentially, because most professional cooks hold the knife right before the handle and like on the actual blade itself. Like, I like they're called like Japanese style handles. They're like curved a little bit. They're a lot easier to hold, but they are a little bit more expensive. Hello, Ming. You're here for the last battle, but hello. No problem, John. But essentially, like, those two brands are the ones that, a lot of people recommend. They've been around for a long time, and, quality-wise, they're good. But for stuff like that, even before I buy a knife, it doesn't hurt to Google stuff like that. Or, like, just going off of, say, reviews on Amazon. Like, you can find a lot of their stuff on Amazon. Even some of their better knives. Always kind of pop pop the thing into Google and search for it, or at least look up the different sets of qualities that they have and see which one fits best for your daughter. Wanted to make sure it's for your daughter. You know, since Ryan's my sister and all now.
That'd be creepy.
Yeah, my sister's a little crazy. Yeah, I'll see you guys essentially next year after this battle. Alright. I think the dog has enough attention. Yes. More or less, yes, Graham. It's just, you know, being in this chassis is pretty damn poor. It essentially has it, it's just penetration-wise, it's not the same. If it had IS-7 levels of penetration, honestly, it wouldn't be a bad tank. Not that this is a bad tank, it's just very limited by its chassis. I might actually try the premium one with more damage here. It has less penetration, but we'll see here. This IS-6 still can't see me. Pop. Not bad damage-wise, but it, you know, it's one of the rare premium tank, or not premium, but premium shells. 510 damage compared to 440. It's pretty fun playing around with them. I just need to be careful not to hit my own teammate. I will not divulge her age. She might get mad at me. 2 years older than I am now, for those of you who know. Almost. Pretty sure she's gonna stab me after this. This guy gets pushed out to where I can't help my teammate. This Tiger 2 is not even paying attention. Come on, FCM, you can't kill a frickin' TVP. Ooh, you guys are way too young there for either of us. But thank you for the compliments. I'll say that. How old am I? 26. Granted, you're only 27.
Yeah.
So.
I'm a year and a half older than you.
I rounded up.
Thanks. Thanks.
But not a bad match here. I did almost 1,500 damage. Granted, that's only a few shots in this thing, but typically that's all you need, you know, to get damage in this thing. You just need to get those couple shots. Or that guy just drowned himself. What a classy person there. Hello, Patrick. Nice to see you. My last match, but nonetheless, thanks for stopping in. I know I was trying not to say anything there, but I missed him. Pretty much. Oh, there we go. At least I got the last kill. But this thing can be pretty fun when you're not getting torn to shreds. Anyway, though, that was my last match. Like I said, my next match will be, or not my next match, my next stream will be Sunday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll see you guys, hopefully some of you guys then. If not, Have a happy New Year. You're a little bit late, Patrick. Sunday's my one that starts at 8, but you can always watch the replay of this. There were some fun matches tonight. Yeah, see y'all, and hello, JJ. Yeah, hopefully you guys have a happy New Year's Eve. I think Ryan and I are just gonna vegetate. All right, have a good one, guys. See ya.